All right, B, let's wait another minute. And, I wasn't actually sure. What I wanted to do tonight, I'm probably going to share this again if anyone else joins us. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And it occurred to me that I have yet to do a talk on why we have toxins in the first place. Why do we have toxic chemicals in our cleaners, etc.? So that's what I thought I would do. But I tell you what, my dear, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. I probably am in a similar boat as to you with getting started. It's something I really just started learning about. Actually, it's interesting. I started going non-toxic. My daughter is 16. About a year before I got pregnant with her, so probably about 18 years ago, I really started worrying about toxins, really cleaners. That was where I focused initially. Cleaners and wanting as many organic fruits and vegetables as I could afford. Because I wanted to clear out my body to be as clean a vessel, if you will, to carry my child. And hey, Trisha, welcome, my dear. And so I really started working on it then, but I didn't fully understand it. I was just making my own cleaners, essentially. I just thought I'll get rid of all cleaners. I hadn't really done the research until I started with Young Living a few years ago. And really it was last summer when I created a Switch to Safer series for my team that I really launched into information and studying it and learning about it, and it was fascinating. I hadn't realized all the things I still had in my home that still had toxins. Now, I'd replaced a good chunk of everything. I will say sunscreen and makeup were my last holdouts, the last frontier, so to speak. Makeup, because makeup is so personal, but I also feel like makeup is, for me, I'm not a big makeup person in the first place, so to learn another method was more than I felt like I could do. And it wasn't until my teenage daughter, started wearing makeup that I thought, okay, wait, we got to look into this, because I don't want this on your sweet little face. And then realized just how many toxins were in makeup. And then I did it in sunscreen, same thing. It's just, I had cheap sunscreen that worked. I'm like, if I just don't know what's in it, then I'll just keep using it. And then I learned what was in it and realized you just can't afford it, right? You can't afford, and I'm not talking financially, you can't afford to have those toxins in your body. They muck everything up. It's amazing. So let's just take a moment. That's what I wanted to talk about. Actually, I was going to share with you just a little snippet on why we have so many chemicals in our life, why we have so many in our products, and what they do to us. But feel free to ask questions. I only have a few minutes here. I was kind of hoping we'd have more questions, so we could just have a really quick evening too, which is not a bad thing. So in 1976, the Toxic Substance Control Act. I always say Substance Abuse Act. Let me try that again. The Toxic Substance Control Act of 1976 grandfathered in between 70 and 100,000 chemicals. So what that means is they were working on passing a bill that would create a little bit more control around toxins, but they allowed the ones that were really already being used on the market to continue being used without being tested. Just if you're already using them, we don't want to rock the boat. Actually, I'm not sure what they were thinking, but my guess is manufacturers had a pretty big lobby, and they then brought in all of these chemicals and toxins. They just said, just keep using them. Since then, 80,000 chemicals have been added to American products, and very few have been tested. Of the chemicals that have been tested, the products only had to be labeled as toxic if 50% of the animals they tested it on died. It's really scary, first of all, that they're testing it on animals, but second, that you only have to label it as toxic if half the animals die. That's incredible. For the most part, the EPA simply relies on volunteer testing agreements from the manufacturers themselves. Now, not only that, but government regulations also protect trade secrets. So manufacturers can hide chemicals, in fact, hundreds of chemicals, under the term fragrance or natural flavors as their trade secret for their aroma, their flavor. So it's kind of scary. Now add to this the disturbing fact that your skin is your largest organ, and it's on average about 20 square feet. And out of all the ways to get things into your body, through your mouth, through your nose, or your skin, those are the three ways you can get things into your body. The skin is the only entryway, if you will, that doesn't have any filters. So everywhere else, the mouth, the nose has filters. The skin, whatever you put on your skin, goes into your skin. And in fact, within 20 minutes, whatever you put in your skin can be found in your bloodstream and in your liver. So it's pretty darn scary. Now, these chemicals have been known to do a few different things. The biggest, I say the biggest one, but you know what? I don't know. The three biggies for me are ones that mess up the endocrine system, ones that affect the brain, and the ones that cause cancer. And I will say that most chemicals do one or more of those three things. And those are the big ones that I'm always looking for. I feel like we can only get so clean in our house. And for my kiddos, I have two teenagers, a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. I look at them and say, okay, what do I want to make sure I protect? And we have brain illnesses, shall we say, in my family. We've had Parkinson's, Lewy bodies, Alzheimer's, dementia, fairly early onset dementia too. So I'm really cautious with brain as well. So, and of course cancer. So these are the big ones. Now, endocrine disrupting hormone or chemicals, what they do is they mess up your hormonal system. So the ones that are really common that people usually have heard of are the ones that mess up estrogen. Okay, so they muck up the female reproductive system. This is one of the reasons girls are getting their periods younger, infertility is at an all-time high, and we have these crazy menopausal symptoms. There are cultures out there that don't have a word for menopausal symptoms or perimenopause because they don't have the same symptoms. And yes, there are other things that are definitely causative factors. There's definitely variables out there besides chemicals, toxins, but these are the ones, of course, that they definitely contribute and we can control, which is nice. So what happens with the endocrine disruptors, especially the estrogen ones, they mimic estrogen in the body. So they mimic it, and it messes up the healthy estrogen we should be having in our body, and it causes the body to miscommunicate. Now, it also messes up other hormones. There can be adrenal issues, thyroid issues, pituitary, you name it. It can muck up your system, your hormonal system for sure. I mean, thyroid malfunction is at an all-time high too. I don't know if I know anyone who doesn't have a hypo or hyperthyroid. It's really so common nowadays. Now, it also messes up the brain with energy and focus. ADD and ADHD is at an all-time high again. 10 years ago, 1 in 150 children were diagnosed with it. Now it's 1 in 50. Now, I do believe technology, screen time has something to do with that as well, but these toxins have been found, they're found in brain tissue. It goes right up into your brain, and it definitely mucks up the brain as well. So you have to be really careful with your brain. And then, of course, there's Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and all the issues that we have with our brain, problems that people have with their brains. And then I wanted to also talk about the cancer. It causes, so many of these things are carcinogenic. So that's something you definitely want to look into too, is if you're doing your own research. The ones that are carcinogenic, that means that they cause cancer. Now, of course, these also increase your allergies. They affect your respiratory system. I happen to have asthma, so that's something that's definitely a concern of mine as well. So all of these things are really important to keep in mind when you're working on protecting yourself. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was pesticides on our fruit and vegetables. So if you, I'm guessing you know all about Roundup, but if you haven't already investigated that, definitely look into that. And then definitely consider doing the Thieves fruit and veggie soak. I actually think that Thieves cleaner, laundry detergent, and then the fruit and veggie soak are my big three. Those are the three that I tell people, get them in your house. Then I would probably say dish soap is next. Really maybe the big four. Dish soap's kind of, that one's up there with laundry detergent. The thing with laundry detergent though, optical brighteners and other toxins that they put on your clothes, the optical brighteners part of laundry, and I mentioned this in the live stream I did earlier, but laundry detergent leaves optical brighteners on your clothes in order for your whites to appear more white. They reflect blue light. Now, optical brightness is like an umbrella term that covers a bunch of different toxins and chemicals. We don't want those on our clothes. But here's the thing, if there's fragrance too, same thing, chemicals, toxins, they're touching your skin all the time, right? Unless you're standing around buck naked, you know, you lay in bed, your sheets are in your face, on your skin, your clothes, they're being absorbed by your body. So I think laundry detergent is really important. I know that these fruit and veggie soak are very important. And then the household cleaner is a no-brainer in my opinion, because you can get rid of so many things and save money. Hello, it's just good business. Now, the one thing I wanted to end with, and feel free to add any questions if you have them before we close. Excuse me. Is that for me with Young Living, I think the thing about Young Living that I love the most, and I probably shouldn't even say love the most because I love lots of things the most about Young Living, but these products are not only toxic free, so they're not harming you, and they're infused with essential oils, so they're helping you. I want them to be absorbed into my body and into my bloodstream. I want the essential oils in my bloodstream. So it's the most magical twofer ever. It is the best. So I definitely recommend, exploring more of the products. I'm not sure how all the ones that you have explored, but the shampoo, the soap, the deodorant, I mean, all of them, they're just amazing. The makeup, it's fabulous for all of that. So if you don't have any questions, that probably covers everything I was going to talk about tonight. But I'd love to support you. If you have any questions, let me know. And
no, I don't have any questions.
A pleasure sharing with you. Have a great night.